Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to our onboarding webinar at Julius. I am Nahreen, and I'm here at our beautiful Julius AI headquarters. This is my first webinar here. We're all used to seeing Tyler, but I'm going to take over this onboarding webinar for him. I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for everyone to start joining, maybe like 2 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. And then do let me know if you can't hear me or if you can't see me in the chat. Hi, Ezra. Also, let me know where you're joining in from. I think that'd be really cool to see where our users are all coming from. Is there an echo? Okay, let me see. Okay. Maybe if I scoot back a little from the mic, that should help. Mexico, Oceanside, California. Nice, California. Awesome. Glad to hear the echo is gone. Hi, everyone. All right, just gonna wait 1 more minute while everyone starts rolling in. All right, let's get started. So let me switch my screen today. All right, we're all here to know the ins and outs of Julius. So I'm going to start with, what is Julius? Julius is essentially created to become your pocket data analyst. So in teams, what happens is whenever we need to have an analysis created or we have a lot of data that we need to work with, we kind of revert to going to our data scientists or our data analysts and have them kind of generate that report, generate an analysis. So the main goal is to kind of bridge that gap in between non-technical or even technical and also our data analysts. So someone from a non-technical background like me, I come from operations, I will be able to create an analysis and generate a report all by myself using very simple queries in Julius, just using normal language. All I'll have to do is upload a data set, upload any files that I have, and ask Julius to process it for me and give me some insights. All right. Now, I'm sure you can see what we call the chat interface, but I'm actually going to start off with our landing page. So if you go to julius.ai, looks like our landing page, we constantly change things here. So looks like this used to take us to our landing page, but I'm going to log out real quick so we can see that. Awesome. So this is our Julius AI page. As you can see, we have our login area. You can try Julius for free just by clicking this button here. We have updates about our webinars up here. So what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and log in. So you can log in with your Google email, your Apple email, or just your general email. I'm going to continue with my email to log in. Okay. Oh, need to log in real quick. All right, and this brings us to our chat interface. So I'm actually going to go ahead and explain each of the features that we see on this interface here, and then I'm going to go through all the features that you see on the sidebar. Just checking that everyone can hear me. Awesome. Okay, cool. So on this main section here, what do you want to analyze today? Before I jump into this, the main feature of Julius is that it can generate Python code and read your data sets and produce an analysis. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your prompts in here. You're going to put your prompt in here, say, for example, like analyze my file. Something like that, you're going to hit run. But to do that, you need your file. So you're going to click this plus icon here to upload a file, and you can also upload something from your Google Drive, personal OneDrive, through one of our data connectors, which we're going to jump into in just a little bit. So this button here is to upload your file. This button is to actually run Julius. Let's talk about these here. This is where you can choose your models. So Julius defaults to JDefault, which actually uses a combination of models based on like what your prompt is and what kind of output you're looking for. You can use GPT-5, the very new one that came out, Claude O3. We've actually generally seen that O3 kind of works the best when it comes to queries and prompts. So if you happen to get an analysis and you feel like maybe I'd like something else, or it's just not up to my standard, try changing the model and that might actually help you. So that's our model selection. And then here we have tools. So you can customize Julius in a variety of ways, and we're going to dig deep into that in a little bit. But here you can actually choose your chart theme. So you can do a scientific theme, you can have a business theme, you can even do dark theme if you're working at night or you just prefer having a darker background. I love dark mode on everything. And here you can also have some saved prompts. You can actually just save a specific prompt that you run all the time and select it from here just to kind of speed up your analysis. And then after that, we have our advanced reasoning and extended memory. So advanced reasoning is basically the AI creates a plan for the task and executes it. So it would give you a kind of a more in-depth analysis. It's especially useful if you're doing complex analysis and complex prompts. And extended memory allows Julius to remember everything that you've told it in the past threads or in the past conversation and give you an output based on what it has already learned from you. So say, for example, you asked Julius something 3 days ago, and then you're going back and you want it to reference something that you had said in the past. It will actually be able to remember and give you an answer that kind of takes that information into account. And down here we have some notebook suggestions. That's one of our really cool features, notebooks, which basically automates prompts that you have to run manually frequently. And we're going to dig deep into that when we get into our sidebar here. And then over here, you can just select one of these and start building off of that. And then up in the top header section, you have what is called your Julius Code Sandbox. So the sandbox is basically the environment that Julius runs its code and runs its analysis. So it's kind of like a sandbox, like a box where everything is going on, and then once it's complete running in the sandbox, it will give you the generated report or generated insights that you want. So this is really helpful when it comes to troubleshooting analysis issues where maybe Julius is kind of delayed in giving you a response, or it starts hallucinating, which is common if it's a really complex thread and it has gone for a really long time. There's RAM usage, CPU utilization. You have your expand resources and your reset. Expand resources. This basically allows you to increase the container size. The standard is 8 GBs, and this is pretty good for any kind of analysis that you need to do. We use 8 GB here. If you feel like you have really large files that you want to work with and it's just not being able to upload it, you can upgrade with the memory boost here. And then the most common one and most useful one is the reset. So you can reset your container, which is basically like a refresh for your container to allow Julius to kind of recalibrate a bit and get back to your analysis. So you can just click restart container here. And if you're still having issues after a restart and you just cannot get Julius to work, click on I'm still having issues, and it's going to give you a drop down to factory reset, which will permanently delete all your uploaded files and clear the memory and basically give you a fresh start. So you can, restart your analysis, and then you could just check this box and click reset container and delete your user data. It's like a hard reset. And then after that, up here, we have change coding language. So by default, the coding language is Python, but we also offer R and Lean Python if you'd like to change that. And up here are data connectors. So data connectors, we're going to get into that in a little bit, but once you do connect a database or connect to your data warehouse or your MCP, you'll be able to see it in this section. It goes green when you are connected to a data connector, so that's a sign that Julius is going to pull information from your database. And then over here, we have our chat settings. So this has a lot of features. When you click on it first, you go to General. You have your show code, learn from feedback. There are some ways you can customize it. You can set your model to always be like O3 if you want. And then the main thing that I would like to highlight here is you also have the option of toggling advanced reasoning and extended memory on from here. So you can toggle it on from here, toggle it off. You can also do it from the main chat interface. Learned instructions. So this is where Julius kind of gets information from you and is able to cater its reports and its insights based on what you like to receive. So Julius will learn from thumbs up, thumbs down. You can give it feedback, and then it will reflect here. Expand resources, basically what we saw in our container. You can extend it from here. Memory boost, longer lifespan, 8 GB or 32 GB RAM. customize Julius. So this is where you can actually give Julius custom instructions to follow in your conversation. So maybe you're in operations and you have a specific ticketing system that you want to run an analysis on in Julius, and that's what you're using Julius for a lot. You can actually give it instructions kind of defining the criteria that you're going to use, or the criteria that you use in your database, for example, like the definitions of certain terms or how tickets are considered, like email, chats, and provide those instructions here. There is a 1,000 character limit. But you can instruct Julius here, and it will apply it to all the conversations and threads that you have. And then over here, you have your data connectors. This is just a toggle that allows Google Ads to edit operations. So it allows Julius to basically go into Google Ads and edit your operations from there. You can toggle this on or off, but you can also do that from data connectors. And then chart themes. We also saw this in the main chat box area. So you can choose a specific theme that you always want Julius to do here. If you like dark mode, choose dark mode. It will always give you a dark mode visualization. And then you can also enter in your secret keys here. Just click add secret key and then put in your name and value if you'd like to use, if you'd like to input an API key for Julius to use. Okay. And then in this 3 dots, you have the help button. So this leads to our support email. You can also just email us at team@julius.ai if you're having issues. This pulls up the chat box, so you have our how-to documents here, good resources to refer to, and then you also have an option to create a ticket. So if it's a billing, product, account issue, you can just click here, generate a ticket, and then our team will get back to you. It will either be me or some other of my colleagues. And then over here, let me close this real quick. And then over here, if you click this brings up the Data Explorer, and it has our Reasoning, Data Explorer Outline Notes section, which we're going to actually see a bit more when we actually run an analysis. We'll see how that works. All right, on the sidebar here, we have our New button. So this you can use to start a brand new thread or a notebook. Chat threads, this is if in the drop down, this is going to show you all the threads that you currently have, and you can edit those, you can pin them, you can also rename them if you'd like, delete them from here, go back and see what threads you have. And then down here, we have our notebook section. So notebooks is really good if you'd like to automate specific prompts to run. You can upload a file, have Julius run the same prompt, and schedule that schedule that notebook to run at specific times. So say, for example, you have a weekly meeting. We actually use this for our growth meetings. Weekly meeting, we want to generate an overall growth report right before our meeting. You can schedule it for Wednesday morning, and it will generate a report, email you it will send the report in an email, or it will send you a button to the report in an email, and it will also share the actual notebook. So you don't have to manually go in and constantly rerun this every morning, because, you may forget, and it's just easier to have this scheduled. So if you go to notebooks, you can do that in a variety of ways. You can just start a new notebook. You have a couple of different cells here. There's prompt cells, there's code cells, there's source cells, which you'd add your data source in, text that you can add in the notebook, and you can also find these here, clear all cell outputs, collapse the cell outputs, which kind of helps to make it a bit more organized. You can import your Jupyter notebooks. You can go into our notebooks docs for help. And to schedule, you would click schedule here, enable schedule, and it will allow you to change the name of the notebook, select when you want it to run, and send you the report in an email. And then you just click save schedule. And then to run the notebook, you would hit run all. And if you want to run just specific cells or just a section of the notebook, you can just click this right here, run, or also run all from here. So it'll run all the cells beneath that. And then the cool thing is, if you go to notebooks, you can see that all of your notebooks here, but in the scheduled tab, you'll be able to see just your scheduled notebooks, any notebooks that are shared with you and team, any notebook history that you have. And in notebooks, you can edit the details by clicking here. It'll open up this little panel here. You can change the name of your notebook, and also schedule it to run at a specific time. You can insert any descriptions, and this is super helpful when you're working with a team, just so everyone knows the details of the notebook that you're sending them. All right, that is about notebooks. Oh, and explore notebooks. Let me show you this as well. So explore notebooks, this is the same kind of section that I showed in the main chat interface where we had a couple of notebook suggestions, but you can go into explore notebooks, clicking on that, and then go to notebook templates. This actually has some common notebooks that we've seen our users use a lot and request as well. So go into top picks, you can click this, acquisition channel efficiency analysis, and then you can click run notebook. And then it will basically give you kind of like a template that you can use to generate your own notebook. And this is like based on use cases. So if you want data visualization one, you want one for education, for finance, marketing, you can choose from here. It's super helpful to take a look at if you're looking to create a notebook. Okay, back to the sidebar, going to the files. So this is where you're going to see all the files that you've uploaded and also Julius has produced for you. So you can, sometimes if you're unable to download from the link that Julius might give you in its output, you can go to your files here and see if it actually uploaded to this section and just download it from here. You can click the three dots here, the kebab icon, download, delete, chat with files, all of those. Data connectors. So data connectors basically allows Julius to connect to your database or data warehouses and pull information from your database so that you don't have to constantly upload files all the time. A couple of options that we have here, some of the connectors that we currently have worked on. Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, these are integrations, and these are the two most common ones that we've seen people connect to. So connect your Google Drive and ask Julius to look at a specific file and just query from that file, and it's able to do that without you having to download that report and then upload it to Julius as a file. So yeah, super helpful. Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, and SharePoint. You can also connect your Google Ads, Intercom, Notion, GitHub. Intercom, Notion, GitHub, RevenueCat, Zapier, these are all MCPs, which stands for Model Context Protocol. Basically, it's like the doorman between the AI and the actual application and gives permission for Julius to query from that application itself. So for example, we use Intercom here for operations and our ticketing. I'm able to just generate reports based about like ticket responsiveness or just general customer success metrics directly from Intercom without having to download a report from Intercom and then re-upload that into Julius. So super helpful if you're using applications like this. Zapier, it automates workflows, really easy to pull any kind of report or metric if you connect your MCP to Julius. And then we have our big powerhouse databases, which is probably the most useful if you're working with big databases: Postgres, BigQuery, Snowflake, Supabase. So you can connect to either of these and then query directly from your database without having to manually do any pulling or uploading. Data connectors. Oh, and if you also want to request a new connection that you don't see here, then you can also just request a connector from right here. And whenever you're setting up a data connector, make sure you're whitelisting the Julius IP address. You can find this here. Just copy, reach out to your IT team. They'll be able to help you out with this. And then an inbox, if you go to all notifications, this is basically any messages that we send you from our end. You'll be able to go into your inbox. This is great to see what Julius has kind of pushed out, any new messages, any new updates, any new features. You can find them all here. Also, if you're invited to join a team, you can see this here. All right, now team, I realized I didn't speak about this before, but team is basically, if you have a pro subscription, you can add two team members for free, and then every other team member after that is $45 a seat per month. So in a team, you can invite members to your team and then share chat threads and notebooks with them, just so it's so much easier than just sending a direct chat thread. Your team members can look at the notebook directly, look at the thread directly, and in notebooks they'll actually be able to work on the notebook with you, leave text cells and things like that. So really good for collaboration, also for shareability. Cool thing is in data connectors, you can also, once the connections that you have yourself will show up in My Connections, but if you have a database connection that you've set up and you want to share it with your team, it will show up in Team Connections. You just need to go to My Connections, click Share with Team, and it will share with your team directly. So really good if you're setting up like a complex data connector and want to help out non-technical folks with just sharing the connector itself, rather than having them set it up individually. So you can view your team chat threads here, all your team notebooks here, team files. Okay, and then let me do, oh, and then a couple more things here. Documentation, if you click this, we're going to talk a bit more about this in a bit. This will bring up all of our Julius docs, our how-to hub, our how-to documents, our product documents. All of them will be located here. Cancel this. Okay. And then our community Slack. You can click this to join our Julius community on Slack. Just continue with your email and you can join our 400 plus members in our community Slack and interact with them, find out how they're using Julius, talk about random things in our water cooler chat, whatever you'd like to do. And then changelog, this is where we send updates about any updates that we've shipped for Julius. You can find all of those in the changelog. It's really helpful to know what's going on, what we're working on, what we're pushing live. Super helpful. And then down here, you have your invite team members. This is if you're on the Pro subscription. You can invite team members here. You can also look at your team settings here. There you go. This will pull up the team settings and the account and billing, kind of similar, not entirely. This team setting will only pull up your team information. Account and billing will be for your individual account. And then if in team settings, you can actually see general. You can look at the teams that you have. You can also delete a team down here if you'd like, or transfer ownership and make someone else the admin. Billing tab. You can see your subscription, your price. You can go to manage here to navigate to the Stripe billing page and edit your payment methods and get invoices if you'd like. So this is really helpful if you'd like to make any cancellations, billing changes, things like that. You can look at the available features that you have here as well. Members. This will show you all the members that are invited to your team. If you can, once you send an invite, it will go to their email, but you can also generate a magic link and send that to your team members and they can join from there. You can manage all your member permissions from here and create sub-teams as well. You can have one team, but you can have multiple sub-teams. And then usage, you can see how many workflows have been done. Workflows, threads, total user. Workflow is basically notebooks. Threads, and then number of total users or team members that you have. All of them are located there. And then account and billing, you can see your own subscription. So Pro plan, see how many days left, and then you can also click here to manage to the same team setting pages over here. If you go into account, in subscription, so Pro actually has unlimited message limit, but if you're on the Plus, then you can see how many messages you have left, and that does renew each month. Then you can find information about that on the pricing page, which I'll talk about in a bit. And then your account, if you have any discount code, that you can also always check out our discount page to see if there's any new discounts that we're pushing out. Enter them into the institutional code section here. You can also delete your account forever by going here. And then this gives you an overview of your teams. So if you click this, you have your personal workspace and you also have your team workspace. So I don't have anything on the team yet, so this is empty. Team usage. All right, and then you have your logout, you have your own login email, and then you can also change your workspace by clicking on the little button here as well. So navigate between your personal and your team. All right, so we've talked a lot about what we can see on Julius, but let's actually see it in action. All right, let's do a quick analysis. So I'm gonna hit new and then go to thread. Actually, before I start, are there any questions? Let me see. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Okay, we also have Tyler answering all of our questions in our chat, so thank you to Tyler. Shout out. Okay, cool. If you have any questions, please do put them in the chat, and we're gonna get back to that, and also do a quick Q&A session afterwards, so we can get to your questions. Cool. I see a lot of activity in the chat. I love to see that. All right. Okay, so opened up a new chat thread. First thing I want to do is upload a data file that Julius will be able to query from. So I'm going to go to upload file, and then I have sales transaction sheet here open. So once this loads, awesome. What we see here is basically how Julius is reading our document. So it's an Excel sheet, and then it's showing us all the columns, all the categories that it's reading currently from our file. And up here, you actually have some suggested prompts. So maybe you're not entirely sure what type of analysis you should do with all the data that you have, this is a great way to kind of get like some sort of guidance on how to approach getting a really good analysis, getting good insights. So you can always use these suggested prompts up here. And now we're actually going to look at this tab here that we kind of brushed on. So the reasoning tab here, the reasoning tab usually shows, once I run a prompt, it'll show what Julius is thinking and what it thought to give me the output that it will. Data Explorer will show how Julius is reading the data as well. It basically shows the table here in a more simplified manner, and it only takes into account the information that I want it to query. So we'll also see that in just a bit. Outline. It helps you navigate between your chat. Once a chat gets really big, it's really hard to scroll up scroll up so far. So you can just click really fast and navigate to certain sections on your thread. And then notes, just general notes that Julius will give you. I uploaded a file. It gives you a note that it was able to read the file and it's been loaded. All right, so let's do a quick prompt. Sales information. Let's do show the correlation between the product category, quantity of sales, and sales and day of the week. Making sure I have all of this. Oh, technology. Let me redo that. I accidentally went back. Kind of good. You get to see it again. Okay, cool. Bear with me, everyone. Cool. And now it is thinking. Let's give it a second to actually think. All right, yeah, so you see the Python code generating here. It is working through our data set. And then here in the notes, you see that it's basically looking into our data. Data Explorer will populate in a bit. Awesome. Cool visualization. Yeah, so it's showing us the correlation of the quantity sold versus product category and the weekday, books, clothing, the amount sold, and then days. And you can always refine your prompts. We have a complete how-to prompt document, so you should always use that when you're prompting Julius to make sure you're getting the analysis that you want and making sure that is accurate. So we got this visualization here, but what if I want a visualization in a different format? I want it to be in dark mode. Select dark, and then I'm going to actually use one of the cool suggested prompts here because I don't know what I want to know next. So analyze sales trends over time. Let's see. Another thing, while this is thinking, I'll also point out you can also export this table that Julius has produced. Just click export, or you can also export to Sheets and it'll export to a Google Sheets that you can download to your Google Drive or just send your colleagues. Super helpful. All right, yeah, so now we can see a monthly sales trend report, and it's in dark mode as well. Really cool to get an analysis this way. Over here in Data Explorer, now we can see what this is really about. It's going to show you how Julius has used the data that I've produced. This is really good to keep open just so while you're prompting Julius, you're able to use the right terms, be able to write the right prompt so that it can give you the output that you want, just to make sure that you and Julius are on the same page while you're prompting. So this is a really helpful tool. And then in outline, these are the prompts that I did. If you see, I started off with the correlation analysis. Julius, it has a J next to it for Julius, and then this is my prompt, analyze the sales. If I want to jump to the correlation analysis, I'll just click this, and it's going to scroll all the way up for me to see that. Pretty cool. All right, what else? Oh, and then if I want to schedule this run, it will create a notebook automatically, and then I can just click on enable scheduler, and then click on save schedule to save it. And then you can find that in your notebooks and in your scheduled over here. But yeah, that is pretty much how to run an analysis on Julius, and I really want everyone to try it out. If you can, while we're on this live, go ahead and give it a shot. Let us know if you're running into any issues in the chat. And while you do that, I'm just going to go over some other things some public-facing documentation that we have. So, like I mentioned, while you're using Julius, you might run into little hiccups, not be sure of the terms. We have created good public documentation for that. So you're just going to click on documentation. It's going to take you to our Julius page. Welcome to Julius. This is a quick start guide that you can look at. We have really in-depth documentation on our features. You can look at how to get started. Great way to know how to set Julius up, and kind of gives you the same overview that I'm giving you today. Types of data visualizations that you can do. So maybe you're not entirely sure what kind of visualization would work best, or not sure what Julius can actually make for you. Super good to take a look at this and see what kind of like really, really snazzy visualizations you can get. And then you can also get custom visualizations. And then these are the instructions to do that. You can customize the outputs you get. If you look at our how-to hub, this stores all of our YouTube and all of our tutorial videos. So maybe you're not a reader, maybe you like to watch and learn. You can go here and check out all of our video tutorials, just so that you can get a look at how to do the specific things that you'd like to, like create a sub-team, set up a team, get started with notebooks. It's all in here. So take a look. Really important thing to call is our account section. So managing your account, we definitely get a lot of support emails on like how to cancel, how to get a refund if it's within our refund policy. If you want to manage your plan, there's this document here, managing your plan, shows you how to upgrade, cancel, and also manage your payment methods for your subscription. So take a look at this. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at team@julius.ai. And another call out would be our discounts page. We're always running cool discounts. We have a current one going on for summer 25 to get a 25% off on your plan. And we also have our academic discount. Just reach out to us at team and we'll see if you qualify. Keep a look at our discounts page. We have new discounts all the time, so good resource. And then if you'd like a refund, make sure you check out our refund policy to see if you're eligible or not. It's 24 hours within purchase, and if it's an annual subscription, it is a 72-hour within 72 hours of purchase. We always keep security top of mind for us, especially because we're dealing with a lot of data and it can be sensitive information. So always take a look at our security page. It links to our trust center, our terms and conditions. You can also scroll to the bottom and it has our terms and conditions, our privacy policy. You can find all of the information you need from there. Okay, and then we have our product docs and our help center docs separated. Before I get into our help center docs, actually, it's good to take a look at our data connector section. We have a lot of people connecting to our data connectors, connecting their Postgres, connecting their BigQuery. You might run into some errors, but we've actually documented the errors that we see up into this data connector error log. So if you run into an error, just go to this document, see which error you're getting. If there's a code, if there are also ones that don't have a code, match your error message and take a look at what fix we have. And if you're still running into issues, like I mentioned, reach out to us at team@julius.ai. And then we have notebook information, how to do that. We have our help center. Our help center has, this is the help center that I was referring to. It has our how-to hub and it has in-depth walkthroughs of how to do specific things in Julius, whether that's setting up your plan, setting up setting up your planner, looking into your message limits, but it also has information like how do you whitelist the Julius IP address? How can you create an effective prompt? I mentioned earlier that creating a good prompt is like key to getting a good output. So you can take a look at this document on how to create an effective prompt. And one thing always to keep in mind is don't try to boil the ocean. Take it one step at a time. The AI is learning from you as you're giving the AI context. So work step by step, break everything down into smaller prompts. And that would give you the best output that you require and the best report. And then data cleaning basics, you can take a look at this, and then how to set up our data connectors. Yeah, and then you can also reach out to our support team here. This will basically redirect you to an email to emailteam@julius.ai. One more thing I realized it didn't show is how to generate an analysis report. So this is back to the analysis that I was doing, the sales trends. Once you've run a chat like this and you've gotten an analysis and you want to share this with your colleagues, your manager, whoever, you can actually go up here to where it says generate analysis report. And this is going to give you a really nice detailed report that you can send directly. It's going to take out all of the cells, all of the Julius portion of it, and just give you the analysis that you'd like to send. It does take a little minute to load. There you go. Tells us what you queried, what the data tells us, gives you a whole analysis, gives you the insights that you're looking for, has the tables that you had, all the visualizations, insights, what to do, next steps. And then once you think that it looks good, just hit download as a PDF and send over to your colleagues. One other thing is if you'd like to share the notebook or share the thread directly, you can click share up here and you can share it with either your team or you can just give public access. So anyone with the link, if you just copy and paste the link to someone, they'll be able to access your thread. Just click copy link here. You have to enable public access and then click copy link and then, yeah, done. You can just share it like that. What else? Gone over our Help Center documents. Please do take a read over our Help Center documents. Read our FAQ. We have a lot of troubleshooting steps covered here, whether that's security questions, common issues, troubleshooting steps, Julius basics. Do read through these. I'm hoping a lot of your questions are answered here, but if you do have documentation requests or feel like you'd like a bit more information about specific features, just send us an email at team@julius.ai mentioning that you'd like to request a document for XYZ, and I'll be sure to have that sent out or uploaded to our public documentation. Yeah, and that is pretty much it. One more thing I want to emphasize is if you go down here and click on our Slack icon here, you can join our community Slack, put in any questions that you might have, interact with the Julius community, see how everyone else is using Julius. And yeah, the best way to learn is to use Julius itself and basically create your first analysis. Yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. I will be on the stream for a Q&A. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll try to get to them. I'm going to read a couple of questions that have been answered, hopefully in the chat. Yeah. Business marketing. Oh, one more cool thing I'd like to show you guys. Let me go here. If you go to Julius, you can also, if you're not sure how to use Julius, it's really helpful to take a look at our use case pages. Go log out just so it brings us back to the landing page. You can go into our product, which directly leads you to our product, but you can go into use cases. If you're from business background or if you're from finance, not sure how to use Julius, click on our finance use case, and it'll actually show you how people have been using it, what are some use cases that we've already had, and be able to see everything from here. Is everyone able to see my screen properly? Yeah, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, use cases page, super helpful, super resourceful. And we also have our resources here. We have a start guide, which is our quick start guide, link to our documentations. Check out our blog to see how other people are enjoying Julius. Most recent articles that have been written to us, interviews that we've done with our users. You can find them all in our blog. Help Center, capabilities, guides, changelog, FAQs, any resource that you'd need, any guides that you'd need, all found in our resources. Security has our Trust Center, our security, our terms and conditions. And then community will take you to our Slack. And then most importantly is our pricing page. Over here, you'll find all our current plans that we offer. We have free, plus, pro, and enterprise. There are limitations to the free and the plus. You just have to scroll down and see what we have. Free has 15 messages, plus has 250 messages, pro has unlimited, and enterprise you can contact us and we can get my amazing colleague Drew on a call and get you talking with him. And then there are different file intake methods. I didn't go over this, but we definitely should talk about this. For free, you have CSV, spreadsheets, and then plus you can do PNG, JPG, upload upload video files as well. So Julius is able to read a variety of Python libraries, which is why basically if you're on the Pro, you can upload any kind of file, and it'll be able to read it and give you an output from it. Yeah, so take a look at our pricing page, see which plan you like, go ahead and sign up or just get started for free and see if you like it. Everyone on this webinar call will receive a code to try out Julius for free for 5 days. See if you like it. If you do, upgrade to a Pro or a Plus, and yeah, give it a shot. All right. Any questions, please do put them in the chat or just email us at team@julius.ai once again. Or you can also use the help function in the chat. Let me show you that one more time. Oh, continue with email. It's either email or you can go to help over here, create a ticket, and then we'll get to that as soon as possible. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. I hope this was really helpful for you all. I hope you all give Julius a try and give us feedback. Feedback is what drives our product. Lets us know what you guys are liking, what you're not liking. Yeah. So happy analyzing, happy scheduling. Have a great rest of your day, and Julio.